falsified and altered a document. First, I want to be upfront with you. I am using an AI voice for this recording. I am Afrikaans, and my own voice just does not come across as clearly as I would like for these videos, so please bear with me. You thought you could get away with it, did you? That small change on a piece of paper, a signature forged, a number altered, a date moved. You might think it is just a document, just a minor tweak to get what you want. But what if I told you that you did not just alter a document? You triggered universal justice. This is not about human courts or legal systems. This is about a law far more ancient and powerful. When you falsify or alter a document, you are not just committing a crime. You are violating truth itself. You are sending a ripple through the fabric of the universe, a declaration that you choose deception over integrity. And the universe always responds. The real damage is not the ink on the paper. It is the invisible, long-lasting spiritual consequence that you have just set in motion. This act of document fraud is a direct challenge to the fundamental order of things, and universal justice does not take such challenges lightly. The hidden consequences are often the most severe, affecting parts of your life you never thought were connected. You probably did it in secret, in a quiet room when no one was watching. You believed your deception was safe, hidden from prying eyes. But here is the truth you need to understand. There is no such thing as privacy when it comes to universal law. Every action, every intention, every secret whisper is witnessed and recorded. Not by a person, but by the very consciousness of the universe. God, Source, the divine order, whatever you call it, is the ultimate witness. Justice is not dependent on whether you get caught by a lawyer or a judge. The moral law of the universe is always active, and spiritual accountability is absolute. The moment you chose deception, your account was marked. The idea that you can hide from universal law is an illusion. What you did in secret is fully and completely witnessed, and the wheels of justice began turning at that very moment. Let us get something straight. The piece of paper you altered? That is not the real problem. The document is just a symbol. The real problem is the seed you planted. When you knowingly engaged in deception, you took a seed of dishonesty and planted it in the fertile ground of your own life. And the universal law of cause and effect, the law of sowing and reaping, dictates that whatever you plant, you will harvest in abundance. You did not just plant one lie. You planted a seed that will grow into a forest of deception, confusion, and loss in your own reality. The universe does not just return what you gave. It multiplies it. This is a core principle of universal justice. You thought you were gaining an advantage, but you were actually initiating a harvest of consequences that will far outweigh any temporary benefit you thought you were getting. The spiritual law of abundance works both ways, for blessings and for curses, and this does not just stop with you. The first action that would take place is that your eyes would become dark. We call it blindness, and more to follow. Your actions have a profound impact that stretches through time, both backward and forward. When you act with such profound dishonesty, you disturb the peace of your ancestors. You create a spiritual imbalance in your bloodline, a wound that does not easily heal. The unresolved energy of your deception doesn't just vanish. It gets passed down to your descendants. They will inherit the consequences, not as a punishment, but as a pattern. They may experience unexplained struggles, cycles of loss, financial hardship, or broken relationships, all stemming from the spiritual debt you created. This is ancestral justice. Your single act of fraud can create generations of inherited suffering, disrupting the peace and progress of your entire lineage. The impact on your bloodline is real, and it is a heavy burden to place on those who come after you. Now, you might be thinking there is a way out. Maybe you can find a powerful lawyer to find a loophole. Maybe you can go to a spiritual healer, a sangoma, or perform a ritual to cleanse this energy and cancel the debt. Let me be perfectly clear. No ritual, no lawyer, and no healer can cancel this harvest. Universal justice cannot be tricked, bribed, or manipulated. Any person who tells you they can magically erase the consequences of your conscious wrongdoing is either ignorant or a charlatan themselves. These are false remedies. Trying to use spiritual practices to escape justice is just another layer of deception, which only makes the problem worse. The only path to rebalancing the scales is through genuine alignment with truth. You cannot bypass the law. The harvest you earn through your own choices must be reaped. There are no shortcuts and no escape hatches from universal justice enforcement. So, where does that leave you? It leaves you at a critical moment of choice. It is time for justice. But what that justice looks like is now up to you. Your awareness is the key. For those who were unknowingly involved or who have come to realize the truth of the situation and are acting in good faith, there is a path to realignment. By choosing truth now, by seeking to correct the wrong, you can begin to shift the energy and change what you harvest next. You cannot erase the past, but you can change your future. However, for the one who knowingly committed this act, who understands the truth and still chooses to cling to their deception, the harvest will be severe. Refusing to align with truth when it is revealed to you is a second and much greater transgression. It activates a more intense and accelerated form of justice. Your awareness of the truth determines everything. The choice is yours. Will you align with truth and begin the process of correction and restoration, or will you double down on your lie and face the full unmitigated consequences? Universal justice is patient, but its arrival is certain. It is time for justice, and what you harvest next depends entirely on the choice you make today. This is why addressing the issue matters. Not tomorrow. Not when it becomes unbearable. Now. Awareness is the first step. Responsibility is the second. Correction is the third. These steps are not symbolic. They are necessary. There is information available that explains how to understand and address these consequences in a constructive way. Those who seek it will find guidance that can help them not only resolve this issue, but live with greater clarity, stability, and peace going forward. The purpose is not fear. The purpose is alignment. What you do after this moment determines what you harvest next. The law is always active. The choice is always yours. I hope this message finds those who need to hear it. Remember, truth is the only foundation that lasts. Follow for more wisdom on universal law.